Hello everyone, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Welcome and thank you for waiting. वो दूसरा class just जा ही रहा था. तो आज तो ऐसा लग रहा है. Today it just felt like we are in a classroom and the next batch is waiting outside the door and this batch is also not left. Nice feeling. It just seemed like yeah, you all go and the other one come, assuming we only have one classroom. So yeah, thank you for waiting. Interesting things today. Let's start if you have any doubts. We're going to do a few quick things and then I'll let you all go. Any specific doubts that you have, feel free to share. Yesterday, I had shared a document, uploaded 2 documents on the drive. And I was not sure if you will be notified about the drive upload. So I also emailed you those so that you get notified. In the email, you have summary sheets, one page sheets for, I think, 5 to 6 systems, ILS, RN. So Ayush, I think वहां से आपको important points मिल गए होंगे सब चीजों के with respect to ILS and DME जो आपका बाकी था. तो आप प्रिंसिपल बोल देना, यूज बोल देना, फ्रीक्वेंसीज बोल देना, पार्ट्स बोल देना, काफी हो जाएगा. कैन आई काउंट ऑन यू आयुष ऑन दिस?
Yes, sir.
चलो बढ़िया. अभिषेक ने कुछ मेरे को डाउट्स दिए थे. नॉट अभिषेक, आई थिंक तन्मय. एवरीबडी नोज दिस, रिसीवर एंड ट्रांसमिटर ब्लॉक डायग्राम आ रहे हैं आपको? नहीं आ रहे हैं तो मैं बताता हूँ आपको. ये भी आज अभी बता देता हूँ. ये छोटी मोटी चीजें. इन द मीन टाइम अभी मैं आप लोग को ना एक ईमेल भेज रहा हूँ. वो ईमेल फिलहाल रीड कर लो. वेरी सिंपल, मैंने ही टाइप करा है आप लोगों के लिए ताकि आप रीड करके समझ पाओ कि एक्सप्लेनेशन का अपन को इतना टाइम नहीं मिलने वाला है अभी, बिकॉज मोर फोकस वी हैव टू डू ऑन आवर मॉक्स. इट इज अबाउट विजुअल अप्रोच. लेट मी सी अगर कोई और वेट कर रहा है तो लेट मी सी इफ समवन एल्स इज वेटिंग. हेमंत जानवी, आयुष, आई होप यू आर देयर. हेमंत एंड जानवी, आई होप यू देयर.
Yes, sir.
Very good afternoon. And Zanvi, if I could see you for some time today, because I'm going to take your mock now, it would be nice. See if you have any settings arrangements. If not, you can just text me and it's fine. No compulsion. Okay, कोई और है नहीं शायद. ठीक है. So we can go ahead. Good. So just give it to me. Yeah. Students, please be on mute. Please be on mute. Please. कौन है ये इंसान? Please be on mute. Yeah, thank you. Okay. Compose. In the meantime, you do this. I'll be drawing the block diagrams and show you the block diagrams. कौन है अपना? सुचिता, आयुष, हेमंत, मुकुल, जानवी, Ishan, and we have Gaurav. I think we have Tanmay. Right. और कौन है? अभिषेक कर रहा है. ठीक है. Nobody else is here, but I'll. Okay. So one thing, okay. If you get questions related to ILS not working during arrival, काफी लोग पूछ रहे थे इसका क्या करूं, कहाँ दूं, कहीं समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. Any instrument landing system not working for you, you will say request visual approach. That's it. Talk about your position and request visual approach. Every airport, okay, every airport will have visual approach aids. Guidance. What is this guidance like? This visual approach guidance is nothing with respect to cockpit instruments. It is only visual. So one of the main things is looking at the runway. Okay, that is obvious. We have to look at the runway. That becomes one of the visual guidance. Spot the runway, land the runway. Second visual approach would be center line of the runway. Maintain the center line of the runway. Okay, fine. Third visual approach, maintain the threshold. How do I maintain the threshold? How can I analyze my glide slope is not above or below in a way that either my touchdown happens here or my touchdown happens here below. I have to make the touchdown somewhere where the touchdown point is. That visual reference, how do I get? It is very easy. You will be required to maintain certain minimum altitudes. If I'm maintaining those altitudes at certain minimum speeds, you should be able to see certain types of lights, specially designed for your visual approach references to stay on the slope. If you're at the correct slope, you will see a particular set of lights. If you're above, the same lights will look to you in a different color. These lights could be either on the right or the left of the runway. That's it. It's very simple. So anyone who doesn't even have any cockpit instruments has eyes, can spot. If we see those lights, if those lights mean perfect slope, we are on perfect slope. Keep going, and you'll find yourself touching down correctly. So I'm emailing you those notes. Just give it a quick read. With respect to the system, there is one system known as VASIS. It's a common name. It was a complicated instrument. I have not attached any picture for it. Only terms are given. Wing bars. What is more important is PAPI, Precision Approach Path Indicator. Name itself is like Precision Approach Path Indicator. Oh my God, I have not learned it. Is it something too technical? Way more technical than ILS? No, these are just 4 lights. If you are at the correct altitude, correct slope, you will see a sort of color on those 4 lights. If you see that correct color, it means you are getting a precise slope during your approach, or instead of slope, when it comes to PAPI, it becomes flight path. That's it. So that is what you're going to read in this document. Check it out. Everyone check your email quickly and just give it a quick read. Don't have to memorize it right now. But yeah, focus on PAPI and the lights: above slope, below slope, too high, too low, only high. Send. Okay, sent. In the meantime, I'll just pull out the block diagrams for you and give it to you on the screen. And after that, see if you have any questions. Remember, any ILS related thing not working, say this is unserviceable. Speak what is there in the question, and then you will say request visual approach. Now you must be thinking, sir, practically, how does it work? Students, practically, it's very simple. Before you are going to land somewhere, you will file a flight plan. While you are filing a flight plan, it becomes your responsibility to check what kind of approach or arrival or landing facilities you're going to get. Is it going to be instrument based? Is it going to be visual? Do you have those instruments? Not. So as a pilot, you will know it. You will be taught during your flight training. Here it becomes a topic of guess. In real life, your first hour that you will fly, when you'll be sitting and your flight instructor will be doing things, you will learn a lot about how approaches are made. So what helps me using these visual approaches is that I can also do visual approaches during landing or during bad visibility. Sorry, not during landing, during night time or in bad visibility also. So this is the impact. So during daytime, visual approach might not be difficult. But during night time, these versus or PAPI, as we call it, versus is old, PAPI is new. So PAPI is that. VASIS is a common name given to an older system. PAPI is just a modified version of VASIS. A very simple thing when you learn about it.
Sir,
Quickly go through them. In the
I got the mail, but no PDF is attached to it. Sir. There's no notes in that mail.
Sorry, students. Wait, let me check which microphone is working. Okay, students, how do you read?
Yeah. Video files.
Yeah, this is good. Yeah, this Hemant, I'm sorry. This happens sometimes. I'll do it again. Wait, thanks. Ignore that last email, students. I got carried away. Yeah? Wait. Anyway, I'll be adding it to the notes. The one note only I'm going to give you all in the end. Like, but for whoever has exams now, you can use it right now. Okay, wait. Let me attach first. Okay, that's the only reason why I was not sending it, because I knew I have to attach. When I thought, okay, you are all looking at your email boxes and I'm delaying, so I just hit send. Okay, where are we starting from? Ayush. Okay, Hemant, Suchita, Zanvi, Mukul, Ishan, Abhishek, Vignesh, Tanmay, Gaurav. ठीक है. Disregard the last email I'll write. Okay. Disregard last email. Okay. Send now. Okay. Okay. देख लो अभी देख लो आप लोग. Got it, students? You can discuss your doubts also with me. Students, once again, I would want you all to message me your parking lots or your checklist towards the end of the session today, along with your exam date and time. I have a record of it. I'll need a time. Okay. And also give me your travel dates so I know what days you are not available. Remember that, okay, students? आज मेरे को लिख देना लेक्चर खत्म होने तक. So ईशान, तुम्हारा भी एक मॉक कर सकते हैं हम लोग. करना है मतलब कर सकते नहीं है. ईशान जस्ट मुझे मैसेज कर दो योर ट्रैवल डेट्स. व्हाट्सएप करो. टुडे, टुमारो, फ्राइडे, संडे, मंडे. व्हाट टाइम वो भी लिख दो. या आई नो दैट. ईशान का कैसा है ना, ईशान का भी बाकी है ना. हेमंत, मुकुल. You all saw the notes? Hemant, you got it? Easy to understand? Read it. Quick read. In the meantime, just couple of minutes. Ishan, Ayush, Suchita, Zanvi, कर लो. Easy, quick to read. कुछ नहीं समझ आ रहा तो बता दो फटाफट. स्क्रीनशॉट भेज देना. देख लो एक बार, खत्म करो. ये भी आ सकता. It could come to you in your question number 5 also, maybe part 2 Viva also. Or maybe it could come as any, what do we say? Any reference in any of the part 1 questions also. So you should know what to do in that case. Zanvi, no issues. We'll figure that out later. Don't worry. अभी जैसे चल रहा है वैसे चलने दो. कोई issue नहीं है.
Sir, I had one more doubt.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Sir, WhatsApp किया हुआ है ऊपर में थोड़ा check कर लीजिए.
नहीं उसका highlight करो ना please. Like select it again so I check it as the last sent message. Yeah, just stand by. I'll check it. Yeah, वो helicopter वाला call ना. Yeah, I'll be getting back to you. Don't worry. I saw that. I know that. I thought वो class में करेंगे solve. ATD is actual time of departure. Okay, your actual time of departure. So यहाँ पे आपको question के पास here you have to write the date, time also towards your question in such calls. ATD is 10150, passing flight level 50 through clouds for flight level 210. F210 means flight level 210. Your DME 10 from Khajuraho. You monitor, it means you hear or you see one helicopter, HC helicopter 012 reporting 7 DME to Khajuraho. आप 10 DME हो, वो 7 DME है. उनका कुछ रेडियल है 025. आपका रेडियल यहाँ पे नहीं दिया है, but you are climbing from Khajuraho, so apparently you know the route how you are going out. They are also passing flight level 50, but they are descending for 3000 feet. Take action. So I think it's an airprox call. Airprox risk of collision. अब मैं देख रहा हूँ आपका सिचुएशन. आपने लिखा है airprox no risk of collision. No risk कैसे आया? बिकॉज आपको लगा 7 है इसीलिए. बट आपका भी तो 10 है, उनका 7 है विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू द सेम DME. मतलब आप दोनों के बीच में 3 नॉटिकल माइल का डिफरेंस है सिर्फ. Focus which DME. That 10 or 7 is not with reference to you, right? उसके अलावा I think call is correct. Khajuraho Tower, Victor Tango Lima Oscar Papa, Airprox, risk of collision, Victor Tango Lima Oscar Papa, 0158 at 0153, helicopter 012 passed our flight level from left to right or from top to bottom at about 3 nautical miles. Here you could have said. So that then you could have said the DME if you want, reporting 7 DME on radial. Yeah, that is true. But with respect to you, you could have said 3 nautical mile, that is missing. Radial, this Khajuraho position over 10 DME outbound Khajuraho, radial whiskey passing for request, take necessary action. Fine. You can also give your estimates and ETA and get done with it. Only mistake I see is in figuring out it is not 7 but 3. एंड द कोड ऑफ द एयरप्रॉक्स. तो यहाँ थोड़े मार्क्स हमारे एग्जाम में चले जाते हैं अगर हम ये नहीं समझ पाते. उसके अलावा कॉल बहुत परफेक्ट है तुम्हारा. तुम्हें क्या लगता है? जानवी, यू अंडरस्टैंड हिंदी राइट?
हाँ सर. ओ
यू अंडरस्टूड?
यस सर. सर वही वो DME में ही कंफ्यूजन हो रहा था एंड वो हेलीकॉप्टर वाले पार्ट में.
हाउ इज द सिचुएशन नाउ? इजी? अंडरस्टूड?
यस सर.
Hemant, very simple. With respect to your reference VOR DME station, if your DME is 20, and let's say reciprocal traffic DME is 25, you are outbound, they are inbound. What is your proximity with that reciprocal traffic? Hemant, this is your question.
5 nautical
5
miles.
nautical miles. So the approx would be?
Approx
safety
not assured.
Second. Only if they are passing your flight level, students. If they are not passing your flight level, it's not an approx. So this is what we were talking about. Keen eye, students. This is it. Very good. Good example discussed, Danvi. Suchita, are you getting it? Ayush, are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
आयुष आप बोलना नहीं, अरे मुझे ये सब नहीं आता था। आयुष आप बस चिल करना है आपको। अभी आ गया, गुड। आता नहीं आता तो उससे फर्क नहीं पड़ता अभी। डोंट पैनिक, ओके? एनी मोर डाउट्स? विजुअल अप्रोच देख लिया, बाय हार्ट नहीं करना है, जस्ट चेक अबाउट पीएपीआई एंड द फुल फॉर्म ऑफ एपीएपीआई। उसके अलावा other than that there are many other instruments, they're not widely available for visual approach. Even for night time, these are the main that we are using right now. Vasis also is a generic term these days. More advanced instruments are being used. Generally, PAPI lights are on the left, but sometimes they can be on the right also, like in the diagram. So don't get confused. Otherwise, earlier students think departure end के हिसाब से left होगा, arrival end के हिसाब, like pilot landing should be right. But no, departure direction, arrival direction is the same. So that's not the confusion here. It could be, it generally is left, could be right also. Okay. Okay. See if you have any more doubts. Receiver block diagram. बस बन गया है, मैं आपको बनने के बाद शेयर करने वाला हूँ. It's just almost ready. I'll just share it once it's ready. Whole piece. Okay. What would be the input for a receiver, students? Correction. Input for a transmitter. It would be the input from the microphone. Simple words. Correct? With respect to RT. So this is where the input would begin. From here, the whole circuitry is going to be there in the block diagram. So this is the audio signal or audio frequency, I could say. Or this is the frequency that is modulating the carrier wave. So I call this as the modulating frequency in itself. My signal, my intelligence becomes my modulating frequency. This modulates either the amplitude or the frequency of a carrier wave. Yesterday, I didn't get any checklist with respect to these topics, so I am assuming that you all are good with these basic topics. If not, I need that checklist so that I can do something to make sure through me also you learn that once more. Okay. So receiver block diagram almost done. Remember, antennas are also called as radials. For voice communications, the output would be speaker. And for voice communications, the input could be from the mic. Remember that, okay? Okay, so now I'm sharing the screen. And make sure you look at both the block diagrams and make a copy of it in your notes. While making a copy of it in your notes, try to memorize it also. A basic transmitter block diagram. A very simple block diagram. Radio frequency oscillator means, like we discussed, this oscillator in this block is going to generate that carrier wave frequency. Modulating signal here becomes my audio signal, my intelligence. Together, these two are going into the modulator where the modulation is going to happen. Out of that modulation, the signal is going to be radiated out through the antenna or the aerial. A simple block diagram. If I have to make a complicated block diagram, I could make a lot of amplifiers in between to amplify every signal before it goes to the next step. Transmitter block diagram. Radio frequency oscillator generates carrier wave. Modulating signal is nothing but the input from the microphone, the intelligence. Together, they both are superimposed through a process known as superheterodyne. In the modulator, the output of the modulator is sent out in the atmosphere through the antennas. Antennas could be vertically polarized, circular polarized, or horizontal polarized, depending upon the wave. Polarization is the orientation of the electrical element of the radio wave. Okay. Easy. Done. Transmitter block diagram. Easy, right? Should I show you the receiver block diagram? I'll give you a couple of more minutes. You might find a lot of different variants for block diagrams. So this is fine. This is block diagram. You can use this and make it into any complicated circuit. So far, I only know this much is what your responsibility should be right now. Okay. Shall I show you the other one? Check it out.
Yes, sir.
Students, if you all want to keep your videos off, Hemant, Ishan, you can keep it off. Huh? Be very comfortable. Relax now. It's fine. I just wanted to see you all once. Fine. Feel free, okay? Receiver block diagram is very complicated, students. Why is it complicated? Because the data transmitted through the atmosphere will be having a lot of interference, a lot of disturbance, a lot of static and all. We have to filter that out. The signal is weak. We have to strengthen the signal. We have to detach the RF. We'll take single sideband, double sideband, whatever purpose we are using. Generally, voice communication, single sideband. We know that in basic terms. So firstly, we need a proper antenna. For a vertical polarized wave, I need a vertical polarized antenna, aerial. Through an antenna, my radio waves are coming. By radio frequency, this is my radio frequency now, the one that I have received, nothing else. Okay, RF. It is sent into a mixer. Okay, what is it? What are we mixing? I already have a modulated signal. This modulated signal is the radio frequency. In this mixer, I am mixing one more signal through a local oscillator. So one more frequency will be added for some reason. And then this new signal that we get, we call it the intermediate frequency. This signal is in between the process of demodulation now. It is like that. For technical students, for engineering students, this is a very important term. For CPL students, no. Just block diagram is important. That's it. Then we have a detector. The detector will detect my intelligence, take out the intelligence, throw away everything else, then give me my audio frequency, which was earlier my modulating signal, my intelligence, my voice. And that will be given to me in the output, which could be a speaker in this case. A speaker means this, or boom speakers, like not boom speaker, like loudspeakers and all. So detector is detecting the audio frequency and sending it out. AF is the audio frequency. So don't think that RF, IF, and AF are any inputs in the block diagram. RF is just the received frequency. IF is the frequency in between the received and the actual frequency that we need. When I say frequency, it means the signal. So these are the other points. Mixer, local oscillator we need, otherwise we are not going to get proper output. That's it.
It's detector.
Detector. Yeah. Detector. It detects the audio signal from the radio frequency and puts the audio frequency or audio signal out in the output. Detector. I hope you can explain the way I'm explaining, students. It's very easy. Exam may explain, you'll have to explain in the exam, students. Possibly, yeah, possibly. So this is the explanation. So the antenna receives the radio frequency, which is the modulated signal that is sent to a mixer. In the mixer, the radio frequency received is combined with the local oscillator frequency. Together, they are called an intermediate frequency. This intermediate frequency or intermediate signal is sent to detector where the intelligence is extracted out, and that intelligence is called as audio frequency sent out to the output speaker. Done. Examiners are impressed. Your answer is absolutely correct. You don't need that technical knowledge here. Too deep, too much in depth. They could ask you, you can say the oscillators generate high frequency radio waves. I need them. Here I needed to increase the strength overall of my radio frequency is what you could say. If they're asking why am I using this, I needed to increase the overall strength before I do extraction in the detector is what you could say. Hemant, following and enjoying now? Chalo. Done? Okay, sorry. Okay, done? Okay. Whenever you are changing from IFR to VFR in flight, everything is same. You should know the position. It could be real time. It could be a point, a significant point told to you that you have to change. This change is not the change when we have flight rules Yankee. No. This is when you only have flight rules IFR, but for some reason you are changing. Whenever you are changing from IFR to VFR, you have to let know the all related ATCs and you have to give them the reason and all, not really necessary, but you have to use a standard phrase over here, which I want to give you. So when you're changing from IFR to VFR, it could come to you in question number 5. It could come to you anywhere. Try to use the phrase. Use phrase cancelling my IFR flight as it is. And then you could say we'll proceed VFR from here to there at this lower flight level. And then you could give your estimates and ETA. Or you could request instructions to set course as per VFR and descend to a said altitude for VFR. Like that. But these are the phrases that you have to use. Cancelling my IFR flight. Quick things. If you have any doubts, raise your hand. Don't think, Arey, sir is going at a high speed. Let's not interrupt him. Don't be like that. You know that. Okay? You can raise your hand and I'll come back to you and we'll discuss. Next thing. Yeah, please
sir,
go ahead.
what is the highest flight level for VFR we can use in exam?
I think highest flight level for VFR could be flight level 150, I guess. But in the exams, you stick to flight level 110, 100 if you want. Delay departures. Controlled flights. Basically, your flights are controlled flights where you get all control with respect to air traffic, maintenance, around maintenance, navigation and all. And we have some uncontrolled flights where we are not seeking much help from the air traffic controller. For you, this is the key, controlled flights. If your flight plan has a delay of more than 30 minutes, we say it's a delayed departure. You have to inform the departure aerodrome. You have to inform all the air traffic controllers, everyone, whoever is in charge. Uncontrolled flight, I could take up to 60 minutes. So this tells me that my flight plan has a validity of say 30 minutes. So you can always say has a validity of anywhere between 30 minutes to 60 minutes. FIC could expire. I would obtain a fresh FIC. Students, are you aware? Fresh FIC, delayed departures, how to obtain FIC, alphanumeric codes, ADC alphanumeric codes? I hope yes. If not, put in the list, share the list, okay? Now there is something called as RPL. RPL is repetitive flight plan. Okay. These repetitive flight plans are widely used for your commercial airliners, where you have to ensure that you have a flight happening on the same day of consecutive weeks for at least 10 occasions. Can be filed only for IFR. Only for IFR flights, which are going on same day or days, back-to-back weeks, on at least 10 occasions. So if I say I want my flight to go every day, every Monday of a week, then I should plan at least 10 Mondays. If yes, and if every flight is going to go at the same time in the morning, 9:30, then I can file a repetitive flight plan. Repetitive flight plan is for the purpose of the retention of the air traffic controllers. Retention is the keyword. Retain. Retention. Or consecutive 10 days each day. Same time, similar time. If you have 10 flights regularly, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and if it's a IFI flight, only then you can file a repetitive flight plan. Or every Tuesday, every Thursday, or maybe every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, then that should go on for 3 weeks plus one more day, at least 4, total 10 flights. I'm going to give you a few full forms. Make sure you know these full forms. FPL is filed flight plan. Okay. PLN is flight plan. So generally when we write FPL, we assume it's a filed flight plan. Okay. RPL, you already know, repetitive flight plan. FPR is flight plan route. AFIL is a very important term. You'll say flight plan. So students, can you file a flight plan in air? Yes, you can file a flight plan in air also. The flight plans submitted when you are in flight are called as flight plan filed in air. The full form is AFIL. Okay. Very confusing full form otherwise. CNL means I am canceling my flight plan. CPL is not just commercial pilot license. It means current flight plan. What am I using right now? And DLA is a code for delay messages. Messages related to delay of a flight plan or with respect to flight plan. Your time of departure on your filed flight plan, I could say, is what is the time of departure? Is it takeoff time? Is it taxi time? Is it startup time? It is estimated off block time. What is this? The meaning of estimated off block time? It is the moment when aircraft movement with respect to departure begins. So pushback, startup will all begin after this. So the time that you see on your flight plan is the estimated off block time. There are certain rubber blocks or chocks kept ahead and behind all your landing gear wheels so that the aircraft doesn't move on the ground. They are blocks. So when you remove the blocks, that is the time. Okay. When your aircraft identification or your destination changes, you will have to cancel your flight plan, students, if it's an RPL, and you have to amend or file a new flight plan. This much will be more than enough with respect to flight plan related questions, especially for those who don't have any flying experience. They might not ask anything else, but these could come in your question number 5 sometimes. So I'm giving this to you. Just write down the full form of METAR. Okay. Full form of METAR is Aerodrome Meteorological Report. So someone says, what is METAR says? It's a report that will give me all the meteorological information for the particular aerodrome, but I have not yet seen it because I'm yet to explore the field. Is what you could say if you are asked, until and unless if you have not read it, how to decode the METAR, which takes some experience decoding METAR. It's very coded. Aerodrome Meteorological Report. Okay. PESI is nothing but the similar report like METAR. We call it Aerodrome Special Meteorological Report. Okay. And one more important report that is not a report but a forecast. We need a forecast also. We have a report which tells us about the present conditions. We need forecast also. What will happen in the next few hours or a few days, whatever the limitations are for the forecast. TF is that. TF means aerodrome forecast. Yesterday with Mukul's example, we were talking about FSS. The closest I could come across was not FFS, but FSS, something that I found, which I think you should also make a note. It might be related to that question or not, but this is good data that we have found out. FSS is Flight Service Station. This is just like an air traffic service unit for your help. Okay. Call sign, interestingly, is radio. Along with FSS, certain aerodromes, they have AFIS. Generally, they give information, not clearances. But if a clearance is given to you, then they can give you information about that clearances. It's like that. Aerodrome Flight Information Service. Call sign. Interestingly, students who do simulation and all, call sign is information. Place name and information, aerodrome name and information, like that. Okay. Ishan and Zanvi, what's your state of mind? First, Ishan, you tell me. What's your state of mind with respect to part 1? कुछ बचा है अपने लेवल का preparation? नहीं बचा है?
So I am pretty much confident about it. I don't think anything is left behind. And I have prepared enough that if in case something has left behind, something which I have not seen, I'll be able to reach up to a point where I could get decent marks on that. I'll be able to make calls even for them as well. At that much level of study that I have made. So I'm pretty much confident about. I was just like a bit getting off track from RVSM. Like I had one case when you are like you are unable RVSM view equipment and you still want to fly above in an RVSM airspace like flight level 3.
So we use the call sign aircraft negative RVSM in the end of the call. It has been taught. Continue. Sorry to interrupt.
So apart from that, so I don't think like
So
as I said,
have you did you realize what the solution is for this?
Yes, sir. Affirm, I realize, sir.
Before departure, before being in the RVSM airspace, if you become unable RVSM and if you still want to choose RVSM flight level, you'll say request climb to so and so aircraft negative RVSM. Then you don't say unable RVSM over there. We say aircraft negative RVSM. Non-RVSM approved aircrafts can also fly in RVSM airspace. All they have to do is in the end of the call, they will say aircraft negative RVSM. Remember this point, everyone. Ishan, continue.
So, like, this is what I said. Like, even if I get something new which I have not seen, I feel that I have studied much enough that I'll be able to reach up to like around 50 to 60% up to, if not exactly there up to the mark for the questions, I'll be able to reach up a point. I know, like, I believe in what I have studied, so I'll be able to make even decent calls for new things as well.
Good, good, good. When are you ready for your mock? I would like to see
So
if I can do it 25 minutes.
Anytime, sir, anytime.
Do you remember all the rules of thumb, reading the question paper, reading this, reading that? Thoroughly, all those points, are you
Yes.
thoughtful?
Yes,
Because
sir.
mistakes can happen if we skip those points.
Yes, sir. I remember everything, sir.
And part 2, do you think you have good quota of points to remember and see if you can at least give 50 to 60% of answers?
From sir, like especially talking about like navigation and all, I have like I've given those papers and I have still been studying over VORs, ILS, PMEs, SSRs. I know the frequencies as well, and I know like half of I'll be able to reach how they work and how the things are. So I am pretty much confident about part 2 as well.
How about the ability to give answers to questions that you know, questions that you don't know, and the strategy to keep talking and talking and talk about good things to show off anything that you know related to the question asked to you also. Remember those techniques
Yes,
also.
sir. Yes, sir. This is what I've learned from past 2 days, that connecting one thing to another and stretching my answers a bit so that I can like make a good impact on them.
It will
This is what I've
definitely.
been writing. This is what I've
Definitely.
been writing. Like I can connect something to another. This is how I can.
I like the way you're
much more
talking.
confident
This
that-
is good. Good. It makes sense. It sees that you're picking up things. You already know things. And these techniques generally will help you in majority of interviews in life also. But I would only comment about RT right now. So yeah, good. So Ishan, if you need anything extra, please text me. Think about it and send me your list, checklist of anything. If anything is pending, let me see. We'll do that. Okay. Zanvi, how about you? What's your mindset with respect to part one?
So I need to practice a few mocks.
How's your preparation for those mocks?
It's all right.
How do you think the mocks would be?
I'm not sure. But I won't do as bad as the last attempt. I'm confident of that.
How much did you score last attempt?
Maybe 32 point.
Okay. Please send me that if you have that.
I don't have it.
Okay. How many minutes did we do that? 10 minutes, 15 minutes?
So I don't think we did the mock.
We just did a couple of calls. So I don't think you were assigned any marks. I don't think it was bad. I think it was a very good call you had taken.
So I had taken only one call. One live
Yeah.
call.
And that one call was so good. I was like, okay, Zanvi, I'm not worried about you. So why are you thinking it should not be as bad as that? Because it was really, really good.
No, I meant as bad as my first RTR attempt as a regional exam. Yeah.
Forget that. Forget that. Think it's your first attempt.
Okay.
Oh, I never thought of you like that, because I think for you, you're gonna definitely clear now. Like you have some experience. Good for you. When do you want to do your mocks?
Anytime you say.
I like the confidence. How about part two? Quota of topics.
The topics are clear, but I don't have the ability to keep talking. Like I'm not used to it. I will have to practice that.
So we should do that in your part one mock. After your part one mock, yeah, we could practice that.
Yes.
So Zanvi, good, no problem. If you keep doing what you're doing so far, although you might think, sir, आपको पता ही क्या है, but trust me, if you keep doing what you're doing, I think बढ़िया है आपका भी chances. You also send me a checklist right now and your dates and your travel time, so I know कुछ buffer कब, so that I don't push things. And if anything is pending, please send me a list of the same on WhatsApp. Okay. Hemant, what's your situation, Baba? Hemant, I have not seen much of your live calls yet, but I have seen a couple of things that you have done in the past, which tell me that I need not worry about you. How do you feel about your part one?
Sir, I'm pretty much confident about my part one. The calls we have done, I've pretty much covered it again and again. I'm a bit scared only about the calls which I'm gonna say it new, and I'm like a day before yesterday you gave a tip, like, just if I don't know how to proceed with the call, I'll just do the W1 and W2, and in the W3 I'll just read it right from the question and I'll end it with what I know. So I'm pretty much confident about part one. The only thing is that part two, because I'm scared about those Ohm's law, the Fleming's left and right hand rule. I don't know what I'm gonna do, because it was the last time I studied was at 12th standard. So I'm a bit scared about part two. Like part one, I'm confident that I'll somehow manage it, but part two, yeah.
So why do you think this Flemings and all will be asked to you? What's your background like? Are they going to ask you on the basis of the background?
No, like I've talked with some of the people who like finished RT, and they were like, study those laws, and I'm a bit nervous about that.
What are those topics? Send me the list. I'll teach you. Easy. These are easy laws. I can teach those basic laws of
those
electricity,
basic
physics.
Ohm's law.
Very easy. I can teach. I can show you how to explain it to you. Them. Just make a quick list. What are these things? Think. Make a list. In the meantime, keep talking. What else? Things that are taught to you or sent to you. I think you'll be able to speak about them.
Yeah. I'm confident
That
about
you can
that.
do.
Yeah.
So please, एक paper pen पे list बना लो ये laws की और मुझे picture भेजो उसकी अभी आप. Make a list right now only. Do it right now only, so that maybe whatever you are not confident about, I could show, but I don't think that will be asked. That will be generally asked to students who are either who have cleared technical, general, or who are from engineering avionics background, or who have some engineering background with electronic or electrical. Generally, such students will be asked those questions. You might also be asked if you don't have that background, but it doesn't mean that that would be your responsibility to give an answer. But what is good is that, okay, why not learn and try to give all answers? Why not just aim for 50, 60, aim for 100? So easy. If you all want, I can cover those. Give me the list. लिखो ना, you're not writing क्या?
I'll give it.
अभी कर लो. जितना है उतना तो भेज दो, बाकी उसको ऐड करके कंप्लीट कर देना शाम. Whatever you have, at least send me that. Fleming's, Ohms, 3 to 4 you will get in the list. Whatever you can recollect, add and resend the list again in the evening. Abhi, send me something right now. If you want to switch off the camera, you can do that and do it from the phone and all, whatever works for you. So, Hemant, part 1 we have to practice for you to get ultimate confidence about those situations where you're saying. But how about the strategies? Reading the flight plan twice, questions properly, how to construct the call, framing
Yeah.
in the mind. Are you aware about those topics in
Yes,
your
sir.
mind?
Yes, sir.
Janvi, are you aware about these techniques in your mind?
Affirm, sir.
But these techniques, if we skip under the pressure of exam or the under pressure of inexperience or the pressure of I cannot disappoint my people, what if I fail and all, there could be a number of pressure, right? When we go through family, this, that, career, timeline, we need not forget. We should not forget these points. That is very important. Good, good, good. Hemant, you also, along with these things, carry on, Hemant, if you have anything else to say with respect to what I've asked you.
It's my only concern is about the part 2. I'm pretty much confident about part 1.
So these friends that have told you about these things, whatever topics you recollect, which you are not confident about from that source, quickly send me a list of that. At least send me something now. Later on, you can update and send me an updated list towards the end of day to day. Okay. Good, good. Don't worry. Fleming's and all might not be asked, but these are just laws of inductance and how current flows and how current is generated. Base level power related ones. Ohm's law and all, easy. What I'll do is I'll try to formulate in my own language a small document and send so that you all can read and understand, the best possible way. Otherwise, I could take a quick session also. Let's see what it permits, time permits, and situations. Don't worry. Yeah, Ishan.
So I'm not pretty much sure, but I felt like people told me that inductance came in this part 2 IVA as well. Inductance and what are conductors and insulators.
इंडक्टेंस तो कल वाले लिस्ट में था ही, मैंने बोला था ये 3-4 चीजें हैं, रीड कर लेना आप लोग. Inductance,
sir.
farad and all. Some students are asked about this because for CPL also a basic electricity is a part of your technical, that's why. So if you all want, I can make a very nice, in my own language made text for you all to give a quick read. That will be the best possible option right now to make sense of all these things. And maybe if I think I have to explain it live, then we have the room. But not everyone will be asked. But yeah, you could say one thing. What is inductance? Okay. Inductance. I don't know. So that should not happen. So for that respect, you could say, yeah, inductance is one of the properties. Conductors, insulators. So insulators, inductor, conductors, conductance. So insulators are something that will not allow the flow of electricity. Conductors are something that allow the flow of electricity. So resistance is the resistance offered to the flow of current. Ohm's law, resistance unit is ohm. So Ohm's law somewhere talks about resistance when connected in series and in parallel. So it all comes back to you then. All that you have learned in the past. But I can make it easy for you. If you want, I can do that. So ईशान, आपका भी ऐसा कुछ है तो मेरे को एक लिस्ट भेज दो इस चीज का. एक साथ ही बना के आप लोग को भेज दूंगा मैं. So about the mocks, okay. See, modulation. Hemant, you are sending it to me today. See, Hemant, modulation. Write down this statement. Modulation is the process of superimposing a audio signal which has low energy, low frequency on a radio frequency that has high energy, high frequency, and is called as carrier wave. To enable to transmit my weak audio signal over a large distance through the atmosphere. Were you able to write it completely? Everyone make a note of it if you don't know how to explain modulation. Okay. I think others know this because you have learned it in your aviation studies here and there, earlier lectures. Hemant, give me a read back.
Modulation is the process of superimposing an audio signal which has low energy on a radio frequency that has high energy and is called as carrier wave to enable to transmit my weak audio signal over a large signal through the atmosphere.
Over a large distance. Okay. Do you understand this statement?
Yes, sir.
Do you know why do we modulate now? So that my weaker signals, which on their own, even if I have a friend sitting at a kilometer away from me, very close, right? 1 kilometer is how far? Very close compared to you and me right now. If I shout, he cannot hear my voice. But I want my message to go to him. So I need modulation. So my audio signals are sound waves. These sound waves have certain frequency and certain pattern. So all my radio waves have this pattern. Okay, students? Hemant, this is for you. This is a sine wave. Okay. I will assume my audio signal to have this pattern. Sine wave means this is nothing. This is just a measurement line, a timeline. A wave is this. All my radio waves, they travel like this in oscillations. What are these oscillations? These oscillations start from 0. We call it 0 degrees. They go to a maximum. We call it 90-degree position or phase. Phase is the word that we use here. Then the energy of the radio wave falls back to 0. This phase we call it 180 degrees. Then the energy of the radio wave travels to the negative peak, which we call 270-degree phase. And the wave comes back to 0 where it completes a 360-degree cycle. It's not a cycle as because it's moving ahead in time. Every radio wave will be like this. Radio waves are sine waves. Sine waves. As in, they are sinusoidal in nature. Sine means this shape is called sine, a sine curve oscillation. Like AC currents are just like this. Alternating currents are just like this. They alternate positive, negative, like that. Radio waves are generally called as EM waves. Not called, but they are EM waves. Why? Because they are not just one sine wave like this, but they are two-dimensional, where they have a perpendicular element as well. So it's like this. It's like a horizontal element and a vertical element, like this. It's like a plus symbol when you see it from the front. A part of it will go like a snake. A part of it will go like a dolphin, like this, or a wave together. What are these two parts? These two parts, by the name EM wave itself, E is the electrical component of a radio wave, and M is the magnetic component of a radio wave. Electricity, when it oscillates, induces magnetism, students. EM waves also have magnetic component. So one that is vertical, if the vertical is electrical, then I say this wave is vertically polarized. This is the term, polarization. And if my E, electrical component, is horizontal, I say my wave is horizontally polarized. Now, check per second number of cycles of a particular radio wave or a radio frequency per second. If I say this is the timeline of 1 second, this much, let's say this much is 1 second. 1 cycle, 2 cycle, 3 cycle, 4 cycles. Did you get it? How many? 4 cycles, 0 to 360, 0 to 360, 0 to 360. So this 0 to 360 becomes 1 cycle. Students, I have caught Hemant's attention, but everybody should follow it even if you have done it before. Okay? So this is 1 cycle. 0 to 360 is 1 cycle of a radio wave. Number of cycles per second, if I can measure, in with this respect, how many cycles do I have? 4 cycles per second. Cycles measured per second are having a unit called hertz. It becomes 4 hertz. It means if a radio frequency has if a radio signal has a frequency of 4 hertz, it means it is oscillating 4 times every second. Do you understand this? This is frequency. Frequency is number of cycles per second. So now you write this down. Frequency is equal to number of cycles per second of a radio wave, and a unit is hertz. Are you getting things now? Feeling better? Increasing your confidence? Yes, no, maybe? Because I cannot read the expressions.
Yes, sir.
Very good. You know what is modulation? You know frequency. Let's come back to modulation now. The audio signal or the audio frequency, the intelligence, is called modulating frequency. The radio frequency, the high frequency, high energy, is called carrier frequency or carrier wave. Okay. There are 3 types of modulation. I'll show you 2 right now. That should be more than enough for you in the MCQs, in the Vivas. Amplitude modulation. And frequency modulation. In amplitude modulation, the amplitude of audio frequency modulates the amplitude of radio frequency. Modulates and it changes, affects, modifies. It is like that. And then the combined signal, which is the radio frequency, we will call it in the end, will be sent out through the atmosphere. Now you already know the block diagram, so you'll be able to make more sense. What happens in frequency modulation is the amplitude of audio frequency or audio signal, one and the same thing, modulates the frequency of RF. So what is this amplitude? Students, this is the amplitude. This I can say is a part of my amplitude over here. Your amplitude is your data in the radio wave. That's why if I want my voice to reach out to you, the amplitude of my audio signal will change the amplitude of radio frequency because they need a harmony between them. It's like you must have seen so many movies, right? You need to be compatible with each other to live. It is like that. So the compatibility will come when either the carrier wave will have some features of the audio wave, or the audio wave will have the features of carrier wave. Now I cannot give the audio wave the features of carrier wave, because then I will lose my intelligence. So I need my intelligence, my voice. So I'll take this voice and I'll put that voice by modulating the carrier wave in such a way that it has a amplitude similar to my voice amplitude. Then this new radio wave frequency is sent over a distance and then extracted in the receiver. Extracted what? The amplitude of my voice will be extracted and sent out in the speaker for me to read out with amplification and everything. So that is modulation. In certain places I use amplitude, certain places I use frequency. In frequency modulation, what function of the carrier wave is being matched with the audio? The amplitude only. But what function of the carrier wave? The frequency of the carrier wave, not the amplitude. So here I can say frequency of carrier wave or radio frequency remains constant. It doesn't change because the amplitude is changing. And here I can say the amplitude of radio frequency remains constant because the frequency is changing. So amplitude modulation looks like this. If this is my audio frequency, like this, and if this is my carrier wave, high frequency like this. So you understand the difference? Audio frequency has maybe 4 cycles. RF has, see, so many cycles. High energy, high frequency means high energy. When I'm modulating the two, what do I get? The modulated signal. What do I get the modulated signal as? Like this. I get it like this in amplitude modulation. The frequency remains same. The number of cycles of the carrier wave will remain same. But what is not same is the amplitude. What is the amplitude? The length between the two is the amplitude. So the amplitude is changing with respect to the amplitude of my audio signal. My audio signal amplitude is this. And what do I see? I see that I'm getting 1, 2, plus 3. I get 3 signals in amplitude modulation. I get AF plus RF, I get RF, and I get AF minus RF. So I reject the 2 and I take 1, and it is called single sideband. That is the whole meaning. One sideband because it's on the sides. The one AF plus RF has a mathematical value. It is called upper sideband. And AF minus RF, the lower one, is called as lower sideband. This is it. Did you understand anything over here? Hemant, if not, this part of the session you could replay again and see it again. You'll understand it thoroughly again. Simple idea. In 10 minutes, short. Best strategy for now. Many more points are there for this, but for part 2 Viva, this is more than enough for you. Other things, electrical based, chances are very less, so those I will give you in writing. Okay. Chalo students, we'll wrap up here. About your mocks, you carry on with your progress, your studies, and your strategy the way you're doing. Zanvi, Hemant, Suchita. Suchita, don't worry, I'll take your feedback afterwards. We still have some time. You do what you're doing, but do give me an end report in your own words towards the end of the day today or anywhere in the evening over chat. All right. Ayush, relax, have fun. If you need anything, just drop me a message. Otherwise, just chill. Don't need to talk about anything extra. From my perspective, if you need, let me know over chat and all. I don't want to engage you anywhere. Observing is more than enough for me, you know. And yeah, the same applies to, okay, someone was there. Somebody has disconnection, I guess. Zanvi is here. Ishan is here. Hemant is here. Aish is here. Suchita is here. Fine, everyone's here. No problem. Ishan, I'll be taking your mock first, and when I will doing your mock, probably I'll tell Hemant and everyone else to join. Maybe yes, maybe no, maybe we'll do it individually, maybe we'll do it in class. Don't worry. I'll tell you, I'll surprise you. Tomorrow's lecture anyway is scheduled, so that slot, please be available, everyone. So I know your time, Ishan. So probably I'm thinking Ishan and Zanvi, maybe we can do a nice mock sometime in the evening today. Just let me know over chat if your evening is free or not. Okay. Hemant, you also let me know about your evening if it's free or not. So I will invite you, otherwise I'll not invite you. हेमंत बस चैट पे बता दो, अभी कुछ बुक नहीं कर रहा हूं मैं, थोड़ी देर में बताऊंगा आपको. मॉक तो आराम से कर सकते हैं अपन, सो कर लेंगे. बेस्ड अपॉन योर स्ट्रेंथ्स एंड वीकनेसेस आई विल डिवाइस अ पेपर एंड देन विल डू इट. ठीक है. सो जानवी, योर मॉक्स आराम से वी कैन डू. ईशान, योर्स वी हैव टू डू ऑन प्रायोरिटी. सो आई लाइक योर कॉन्फिडेंस, आई एम नॉट वरीड. तब तक आप बाकी चीजें फाइनलाइज कर लो मॉक तक की, एंड कुछ देर में मैं बताता हूँ अगर हम कर रहे हैं तो कितने बजे कर रहे हैं, और कर लेंगे, आज कर लेंगे एक. सो देखते हैं कितने बजे होगा. अभी नहीं टाइम दूंगा आपको, आप कंसल्ट कर लेना. बस मेरे को बता दो इवनिंग ओपन है कि नहीं है. इफ इट्स नॉट ओपन, देन जानवी एंड ईशान एंड हेमंत, तुम तीनों को एटलीस्ट, अगर ओपन नहीं है तो कौन से स्लॉट में तुम बिजी हो वो टेक्स्ट कर देना. जानवी, अर्लियर वी वर नॉट एबल टू कैच अप इन द इवनिंग स्लॉट्स. अभी ऐसा कोई सिचुएशन है नहीं. आई नीड टू नो दैट. ओके, से प्लीज वो बता दो मेरे को, चैट पे बता दो. ठीक है, आज का बस. उसके अलावा कुछ एक्स्ट्रा चाहिए? इफ यू नीड एनीथिंग एक्स्ट्रा अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, यू नो द ड्रिल, हाउ टू गो अबाउट इट, स्टूडेंट्स. At least couple of hours, so we will not do it. At least in the couple of hours, so we are not doing it. If we will be doing it approximately after 2 or 3 hours only from now, Ishan and Zanvi. Okay, priority Ishan right now. So Ishan, I am assuming you're free.
Definitely, sir. Definitely.
If you have to be anywhere, go anywhere, let me know. Time waste नहीं होना चाहिए तुम्हारा जरा भी. ठीक है?
Sure, sir. Sure.
Yeah. And if you don't like the time I'm giving you, let me know what time. But आज कर लेंगे, and let's try to do it before 9 or 10 max. Let's not try
Definitely,
to
sir.
stretch 9 o'clock. So if I'm
Definitely, sir.
thinking 9
Definitely.
o'clock, then we should start at 8 o'clock so that we can wrap at 9 o'clock is my idea. 9:30 से
Definitely,
ज्यादा
sir.
नहीं पढ़ना है हमें, खत्म करना है सेशन max. So I'm giving you a brief idea. Exact time I'll confirm. Deal, Zanvi, Ishan, Hemant, Suchita. Hemant, for you it will be good if you could observe because the next mock would be yours. Suchita, not really worried, but if you want to be a part of it, you could. Otherwise, you can just go ahead with your prep the way you are. Okay, students? So, gotta go now. Make sure you're doing what you're doing nicely. And if you need anything, just let me know. Drop me a text and we'll get there. Hemant, update the list if you want. Ishan, update your lists, whatever it is. Okay? But let me know and don't wait for me to ask. So, Hemant, let that be known. Jo bhi hai, whatever it is, directly come to me. Okay? Chalo. See you soon, students. Take care.
Bye,
Bye,
sir.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, sir.
Bye-bye.